Hello, and welcome back, and thank you for joining me today. We're going to continue where we've left off in the past couple of lessons, talking about our choice and our ability to see things as they are. We could choose to see things as they are, or we could choose further illusion. And the choice belongs to each and every one of us. That choice has not been usurped. We have it. We could go around proclaiming that we don't, and running and hiding and denying this power of decision. But it doesn't mean that we don't have it. We're simply choosing not to exercise it, which is a choice. No matter what may appear here in life, not a single one of us is the victim of the world we see. I know that many of us like to play that victim, and we may get some sympathy from others. We may get some comments and likes and hug emojis on our social media feeds, but not a single one of us is the victim of the world we see, no matter what may be appearing. How can this be? There is no world. The central teaching of A Course in Miracles, Jesus says it right here in the Course. It's illusion. So if there's no world, well, first of all, that seems like a highly bizarre idea, isn't it? You may find yourself right now thinking, yeah, this guy's crazy. Actually, this is a pixelated image on your screen. It's an assemblage of dots. It isn't crazy. It's nothing. So, who, what, and where are you? Well, you're one with God. We are one with our Creator. This does, in fact, mean that we're not a physical body. That is illusion too. This is illusion. If you're just tuning in for the first time, first of all, welcome. If you're new to this, again, welcome. This course doesn't mess around. Yeah, you deserve to be pointed to truth, don't you? Yes, is the answer. Yes, you do. So let's not mince words. Let's not mess around. It's very, very interesting what you're doing right now. It's highly beneficial because in taking the time out, 15, 20, 25 minutes, however long this video will be, I have no idea, in fact, it's very important what you're doing. It matters that you're taking time out of your busy schedule because I'm sure that it's busy. It's populated with activities, whether you've scheduled them into a planner or not. There's stuff to do in the world. It's very important that you're making this commitment, whether you're a long-standing student of this course or whether you're just beginning or whether you've not begun and you're just checking this channel out because it popped up somehow on your YouTube feed. Who popped it up? Your inner teacher popped it up. So welcome. There's a reason you're watching. When something lands for you, it's our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, that's speaking to you. And this is the voice, incidentally, that has us interested in spirituality to begin with. Amidst all of this other content in life, amidst all of these wild phenomena, and there are a lot of phenomena, aren't there? You're interested in this thing, this collection of practices that we refer to as spiritual. That's your inner teacher guiding you. You have a choice to listen to this guidance. So, why do I continue to refer to the Holy Spirit as our inner teacher? Well, the Holy Spirit's part of our mind. Inner. This is the part of our mind that will guide us if we allow it to, that speaks to us of who we really are, that will guide us, that will show us what to do so that we may clear the cobwebs, so to speak, and clear the way for reality to dawn of itself. It hasn't gone anywhere. We've simply obscured it so we can remove those barriers to our awareness of truth. What we refer to as the process of awakening or enlightenment is really nothing more than that, removing the barriers to our awareness of what is, because it is, it's there. We could choose to see it. We're invited in A Course in Miracles to trust our inner teacher as a guide. And a very large part of spirituality, in fact, the core and the essence of all of it, no matter what the tradition, is in learning to relax and trust, isn't it? It's in learning to relax and trust the guidance of our inner teacher, this part of our mind that is not deceived by our illusion and suffering and folly. But should we allow it to guide us, will guide us. Lovingly, certainly guide us, truly. The question for each and every one of us, the question for you is, are you willing to allow your inner teacher to run the show? Does it seem scary? If it does, that's absolutely perfectly normal. Expect that on the path. It's the ego that's afraid. In fact, any time you experience resistance to the truth, you can bet that it is the ego that simply is yammering, making lots of noise, pulling at you, tugging at you, shouting at you, and demanding your attention and allegiance. You don't have to give it. You don't have to. We're invited to lean on and trust in the guidance of our inner teacher, the one teacher of reality. The Holy Spirit doesn't change his mind about reality because reality doesn't change. Reality doesn't change. It is changeless. It simply is. God is. The Holy Spirit doesn't change his mind, its mind about this. Here in the world, when you think about it, we do. What passes for reality is an ever changing barrage of events and circumstances. Some of them are extremely pleasurable. Some of them are beautiful and joyous and fun. And what happens the next minute? We experience pain, suffering, guilt, rage, and fear. It is a yo-yo, isn't it? Because even our most blissful moments or our most loving, wonderful periods of time here in the world are impermanent and they don't last. What we pretend to recognize, yet in practice utterly fail to recognize, is that peace and joy are not to be found outside. They're not out there. So they're not in the things of this world or the world itself, or a beautiful mountain range, or a walk on the beach, a tree, a garden full of flowers, a beautiful sunset. They're not in those things. Peace and joy are in our mind. So that is where A Course in Miracles directs its focus, where it's needed. When we heal the mind. The physical body may follow. Whether it does or does not follow our healing the mind is not the point. It is manifestly not the point. Remember, a few minutes ago, you may have heard for the first time, there is no world. You'll hear that again. If you stick around here, you'll hear it again. If you continue to study and practice A Course in Miracles, you'll hear it from whoever is writing or speaking about it, and you will read it in the course materials themselves. There is no world. There is no body. We are not a body. There is nothing outside of you. So it's pointless to look for peace and joy and happiness outside yourself. You will not find it there. That's why we have not found it there, despite all of the beautiful things that may be happening in our lifetimes. Because we have multiple beautiful moments, don't we? We do. And we also have a great many moments of doubt and guilt and pain. And somewhere along the line, you have heard the call of our inner teacher. I think the reason why this often comes up in these videos, why I often say it, is because we are apt to lose track. We are. We're apt to lose track of the fact that we're on the path. You're on the path. Doesn't make any difference if you've picked up this material or not. You're still on the path because this is all about spirituality. This is not a series of videos about the weather or sporting events or politics or anything like that. It's about A Course in Miracles. Something has drawn you in. So again, welcome. You'll know what that message is. It's from your inner teacher who doesn't change his mind about reality because reality doesn't change. It's changeless, constant. So as we proceed through the text, I'm getting this material from chapter 12, section 1, where Jesus invites us to have gratitude for our brother, that our only appropriate response to our brother is appreciation and gratitude, profound gratitude. Why? Well, what if your brother is behaving very badly? Because people do. We all do, don't we? Appreciation is what is due our brother. From us, we extend appreciation to him. For what? For his loving thoughts and for his calls for help and healing. If properly perceived, both of these can really, really help us. They're capable of showing us only love in our minds. They're capable of bringing love and nothing but love into our awareness. So, yes, naturally, gratitude is due our brother, every living thing, our brother, singular, which of course appears in multiple different forms, 8 billion plus of these things, plus all of the fish and birds and animals and insects and countless other forms of life here on spinning ball of rock. All of that. So the premise here, which we've talked about recently, is that anything you do or anything anyone else does, our brother, anything your brother does is either an expression of love or a call for love. Anything that looks hateful, mean, sad is a call for love. It's a cry for help, for healing. What is the appropriate response to our brother's call for help? Help, forgiveness, extend love. So, as we go forward here, practicing this, setting our ego aside for all time, gratitude is most definitely due our brother for his loving thoughts and for his calls for help. When properly perceived, they can bring love into our awareness. What's the appropriate response to a call for help? Help. Doesn't mean that you have to physically reach out and connect with your brother. If somebody is posting an F-bomb laced tirade on social media that is dirty and hateful and mean and wrong and attacking all kinds of people, that is an appropriate opportunity for you to simply forgive in your mind. You don't have to type it out. Hey, man, this is a nasty rant you got going on there, but I forgive you. No, no, you don't have to do that. It's done in the mind. You extend love. It's a call for love, which someone's F-bomb laced, nasty, hateful tirade on social media is most clearly, isn't it, a call for help. Help, I need love. Help, I need love. Help, I need love. Are you going to extend it to me, or will you keep me locked in this cycle of guilt and blame and hatred and fear? So here's the thing. Your brother is you. He's not your cousin. He's not a distant relation. He's not your kin. He's not like you or similar to you. He is you. When you extend love and forgiveness, you extend love and forgiveness to yourself. You recognize your own need in him. Extend love so that you may hear our inner teacher, so that our inner teacher may speak to you. Let's perceive every call for love for what it is, a call for love, and answer with love. When we do, the Holy Spirit answers us. God answers us. The Holy Spirit is the voice for God. It's one of the names by which it's known here in the Course. So all of this can seem highly bizarre. It can, can't it? It can seem highly bizarre, weird, wild, strange, and kind of out there at first. You may experience tremendous resistance. A basic idea to take away from this is that your brother is you. Remember, you're not a body. The body is just the thought of separation given form. There is no separation of any kind. Your brother is you. So when your brother either gives love or issues a call for help, it's you issuing a call for help. Recognize your own need in recognizing his need and respond accordingly. When you forgive yourself. Similarly, when you keep your brother spinning by ignoring him and not forgiving, or even worse, with the social media example, clapping back something snide in response, which we're all tempted to do. Rather than doing that, we forgive because when we clap back a snide response, we're sniping at ourselves. We're keeping ourselves locked up in this cycle of guilt and blame and fear, suffering, which we all want to end. That's why we're on the spiritual path in the first place. The call of our inner teacher is the call to awaken. He'll show us what to do. We have simply to relax and trust his guidance, accept it, and he will show us what to do as far as our forgiveness practice work goes. This is how you learn this course, through practical application. Videos are all well and good, and it is, in fact, important to have some idea on an intellectual basis what this course is talking about. It's part of why these videos exist, so that the sheer simplicity of it may rise to your awareness. Your brother is you. And we're invited to appeal to our inner teacher, who is not deceived by any of our drama. The Holy Spirit doesn't change his mind about reality because reality does not change. It's constant. Deep down, we all know this. The question for each and every one of us on a practical basis, which is where we learned this course after all, we really learn by putting it into practice through our practical application. Our experience demonstrates to us, shows us, and proves to us that these ideas are true. Reality doesn't change. And let's all be glad of that. All right. Let me come back in closing to something that I mentioned earlier here. You deserve nothing less than being led to truth. Truth simply is, but we need help in clearing the blockages to our awareness of that. So let your inner teacher help you. That's who's delivering these messages to you. Whatever has stuck or landed is your inner teacher speaking to you. Whenever I turn on this camera and microphone, I don't really know what's going to come out, other than I seem to repeat some very good, very basic ideas that we'd all do well to take to heart and allow these ideas to permeate our mind. Your brother is you. There is no separation of any kind. So I thank you for tuning in. Now, because spirituality is quite clearly a process of deep work and inquiry, questions are always welcome. So if you've got questions, please feel welcome to leave them here. This comment thread on YouTube is a good place to do that. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. We'd love to have you. A number of you have joined recently, so thank you if you're one of those. The subscription prompt here is this arrow in the corner of your screen. When you click or hover over that, you'll be invited to subscribe and join us. So please do. We've got a growing community. It is most definitely international. This course is universal. It's a self-study curriculum, after all, not a religion, for which we should all be very thankful, right? It's done under the guidance of our inner teacher. So, how your practical application of it looks will necessarily be different from someone else's. That's just the outward form. The content, our true forgiveness, doesn't change. That is a connecting principle, if you will. It's the commonality, it's the core. The content is the same, only the outward form appears to be different. So for you, your putting this course into practice will probably look very differently from what it looks like for me. This is my own particular directive. Holy Spirit saying, turn this on, turn this camera on, and talk. And do it right now, please. And thank you. It's my own particular calling. And yours may look very, very different. The core, the essence of it is exactly the same. We're extending love to the Son of God. We're forgiving the Son of God. We're showing him who we really are. We're showing him love. And in the process, we show ourselves. All right. Thank you, as always, for joining me.